Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time. I'm your host, Jesse Schneeman, and I am here with the three best friends anyone could ever have, starting with the auspicious Austin Bell. How are you tonight, Austin?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. We have one more week to the night until football is back. Teams have their 53 men now. It's time to go. How are you?
I'm amazing, and thank you for the reminder. I'm going to let everybody know that we'll be recording on a different night next week. So stay tuned. We'll let you know through Discord and through YouTube channel. And my main man, Chad Mendoza. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm good. I'm here. So, yeah, ready to party.
Charismatic as always. And actually Major Mike Casper. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Dude, I am great. I'm officially back in the Army, and I'm excited about it. So got a little, dad weight lifted off my shoulders. So, but I'm happy to be here, and we got college football kicking off this week too before NFL. So it's gonna be an exciting weekend. Weekend.
We got Chad's camera back on. We got Mike with the
nasty.
We're just
mustache.
gonna say 70s
nasty.
mustache. Yeah, just dirty.
Just gross.
All right, Mike, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us when we're not podcasting?
Yeah, absolutely. Catch us on our YouTube and Facebook at Dynasty Front Office, Twitter or X at Front Office FF, and in our Discord. Links in the description. So it's active every day, getting trade questions, all sorts of good stuff, like literally building these dynasties with these trade questions. So keep them coming and join the Discord. It's an awesome community.
Right on. Yeah, just subscribe and like and leave us a review everywhere you listen. Tonight, we're going to bring you Trade Banger of the Week, quarterback and tight end rankings, final roster reports. We're going to give you just a couple guys that are under 40% roster that you might want to pick up and stash. And then, as always, we'll go off the clock and have a little pop culture fun. You guys ready to do it?
Go.
All right, Chad, why don't you do our Trade Banger of the Week?
Happy to. So, yeah, we have our trade banger. We do this every week. Please send us your trades so that we can put them up here and talk about them and see what we think. In this format, we have 12-team Superflex, half-point tight end premium. Or Team 1, receives Jackson Dart and Trey McBride. Team 2 receives Caleb Williams and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
All right, guys, what do you think? What side you got, Austin?
Oh, why I gotta go first? In a vacuum, I'll take Caleb and JSN, but there are definitely situations where I would risk obtaining Dart and getting the best piece in the trade and Trey McBride. But it's going to be a little roster dependent. If I'm getting rid of Caleb Williams, he better be like my QB4 in this situation, because I don't want to trust Dart as the QB3 on a contending team. So in a vacuum, I'll take Caleb and JSN, but there are avenues where I would take the dart on Dart, and get Trey McBride.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. If it was a 0.75, I think I might get a little bit closer to the McBride side, but I think with Caleb, with everything new going on there and the weapons, like, sure, if he doesn't succeed, right, then it's like total failure, but you still got a really solid wide receiver in JSN that a lot of people like. I mean, where we have him pretty much consensus. Was it top 12? Austin, you can check that for us. It's somewhere pretty close. Well, I think there's a lot of safety on that side. Obviously, lots of upside on the other side. So I think if it was a younger team, maybe, but I'd like to see a second, probably at least on the Dart side, to make it a little more palatable.
What do you think, Chad?
I think actually, if I'm a contender, I'm taking the Jackson Dart Trey McBride side in most scenarios, and it's just because Trey McBride is so unobtainable. Really, there's no replacement for him. You try to go get, I mean, one, you try to go get Brock Bowers or Trey McBride in a league right now, and it's virtually impossible. Trust me, I just tried on Brock Bowers today. I'm sure this guy's sick of me. I've sent like 10 trade offers the last 3 months, so just waiting for the season to start, just kicking the tires. But yeah, it's impossible. So for me, that is the entry cost of Trey McBride, and you guys know how I feel about Caleb Williams at this point. He's not a sure thing. Jackson Dart's not a sure thing. Give me the top 2 player at his position, potentially top 1 player at his position.
Yeah, as we're about to discuss, one of only a few players that even matter at the position. One of the only few players that give you an edge. I think I'll take the Dart side as well. The only issue is I'm going to want someone like Geno or Stafford on my roster just for bye weeks. So I don't know. I'll see if I can get something thrown in that I can maybe use to get that veteran quarterback. I don't think you're going to get a second on top, but maybe a third or two.
You could even go after, I mean, Russ, right? Like if Russ
Daniel
can hold you
Jones.
over as a QB until Dart starts games. So I don't think that's a huge issue as long as you're not trying to use that situation, as a QB2 in a contender, which I think that kind of invalidates the trade completely at that point.
Yeah, it has to be QB3 or yeah. Russ is a good idea. Russ or even Aaron Rodgers would be really cheap too.
I'd even do Daniel Jones.
Could definitely get him for a third, right?
Yeah, I would think.
He'll come up a little later. All right, so it's tied.
I don't really like that thought process, to be honest. Using Dart as your QB3 on a championship team. I mean, there are certain examples, sure, where maybe you have Mahomes and Burrow or Mahomes and Allen, like big names like that. But most of us don't have that in majority of leagues. So that's kind of what scares me is, if I'm trying to win a championship, I don't want to have to rely on Russell Wilson being bad enough to where Dart's going to be
If I have
necessary piece.
any 2 quarterbacks that I'm confident in, let's say I have a top guy like Daniels and then my other guy is Goff or Dak. I'm fine with that. As long as like I said, I have another veteran that can at least cover my buys or God
Then
forbid.
that's
somebody gets
QB4,
hurt.
like I said. That's what you're saying, another veteran.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, that's what we just talked about, going out and trying to get a guy like Russ or a guy like Daniel Jones cheap, just for backup in that in that case if you're trying to fill that QB3 void. But I mean, another point is, there's tons of contending teams where I've risked QB3 going into the season just to add more points to my roster. Trey McBride for me is worth it because the point drop off from him to whatever tight end you probably have on your roster, if you're going out there to get Trey McBride, is pretty substantial. It's covering that QB2 spot essentially. So if a QB was to go down, you're almost making those points back for whoever you're putting in that super flex spot to cover.
I mean, I agree with that statement. In a vacuum, would you rather have Caleb or McBride? In a vacuum. I think that's kind of what this comes down to. So then to me, Dart and JSN, I would much rather have JSN over Dart.
Well, I would much rather have Trey McBride over Caleb Williams.
I think that's a hot take, personally.
That's tough, but yeah, I mean, I understand looking the hedge on Caleb.
It's all potential at this point. Like it's all potential. If I'm a contender, I mean, if you're talking dollars and cents, give me the tight end and the tight end premium, where he's one of 2 guys essentially matters, right? Going forward, where you have guys like Kittle, but they could be done after this year. We don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, trade banger of the week. Send us your trade bangers of the week through Discord. Join our Discord. It's free. Why not? It's a lot of fun in there. If you're ever looking for a place to just like bounce a trade off of somebody, I know personally, there's nobody in the world I'd rather ask about a dynasty trade than Chad, Mike, and Austin. Kind of how we started this whole thing, asking each other about trades. Is this the right thing to do? What would you do? We started a Discord for it, and then we got all the other smart guys that we know, all the other smart dynasty players that we know to come in there And it's really a lot of fun, number one. And number two, it's where I go to get advice. It's not easy to value Dynasty players. That's why we're here, guys. We're a resource. And Austin won't sugarcoat it either.
No, I don't do that.
All right, y'all. So if you want to get your trade banger of the week on the show, like I said, join the Discord. It's free. The link is in the show notes. Y'all ready to jump into some fun?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Get double the fun today.
Quarterback rankings. Let's do it, Austin. Top 5.
1, Josh Allen. 2, Lamar Jackson. 3, Joe Burrow. 4, Jaden Daniels. 5, Patrick Mahomes.
1, Josh Allen. 2, Lamar Jackson. 3, Jaden Daniels. 4, Joe Burrow. And 5, Jalen Hurts.
1, Josh Allen. 2, Lamar Jackson. 3, Joe Burrow. 4, Jaden Daniels. 5, Hurts.
All right. Mike, let's talk about Jaden Daniels a little bit.
Do it.
Explain to me why I should not be worried about his size, play style, leading to an injury, and especially since it already happened last year. And second question, what's the upside after only adding a washed up Debo?
So, Jesse, if I were to ask you, what's the difference in weight between Lamar and Jaden Daniels, what would your guess be?
That's what I was looking up.
I'd say Lamar's got 10, 15 pounds on him.
No, it's like 5 pounds. And it's debatable on different sites. Some have Lamar weighing less than Jaden Daniels, and some have him weighing more, up to 215, and Jaden Daniels at 210. So that's kind of my idea behind it. And, you know, Lamar, for his fair shake, right, has had that injury season, right, where he missed it. What, he tears ACL? Is that what it was? I don't remember what it was exactly. But at the same time, all of us have looked, Lamar at 1 or 2, right, in our rankings. So that is the ceiling for Jaden Daniels. He's one of the few like really young QBs that I think can legitimately be the number 1 QB in Dynasty after this season. And we'll go over some of our ranks here. And because a lot of the really elite guys are going to be another year older. Yeah, they're still stacking stuff and having great, top 3, top 5 seasons. But Daniels is clearly going to be the younger of them, right? So that's kind of my idea about having Daniels there. And then as far as his weapons, like, yes, they are all old and rusted, or old and busted, or whatever you want to call it. But you also got to think, like, they just started rebuilding this with him last year, with Jaden Daniels coming in last year. So they're trying to get like good, mature pieces around him. When you think of Terry McLaurin, Ertz, and now Debo, like I think Debo is going to help his short game out a lot compared to what some of the other wide receivers in the past year couldn't do. So I think he's just got a completely different skill set. And also Austin Eckler, healthy. I like players the season after an injury that really plagued them for a whole year. And we all know he's kind of a machine. Yeah, he's on the back end, but I think he's got a lot of great pieces around him to really catapult him into that QB1 in Dynasty.
Oof. Eckler looked so slow last year. So did Debo.
They were both hurt.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess if they regain some bursts, but that part I'm a little skeptical on. So but back to the first part. So you're telling me that he's Lamar? Lamar has this uncanny ability to avoid big hits. I think Daniels doesn't really have that. That's what scares me.
He didn't in college, that's for sure. He liked to take the hits in college.
Yeah. He plays like he's Josh Allen, and he's not that size. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
with that mentality is what I'm saying.
I think with an extra year of maturity and coaching, I think that'll come down more. Well, they'll be sliding more and getting out of bounds and things like that. That's just kind of a young person thing. I feel like Lamar ran over some people too, though.
Well, I mean,
not as
still
bad,
thinking,
but
hopefully.
Yeah. We're all projecting.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jaden has the clearest path of any quarterback in the NFL to be the Dynasty QB1 after this season.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I needed to ask the questions. All right, Austin, since you're speaking up, tell me, all right, Joe Burrow, he's amazing, full stop. What else you got? Why are you making me talk about him tonight?
Me, who, Burrow? I mean, he's amazing. That's the simplest statement. I can't focus. Mike is over here. I don't know what he's
going
doing.
on?
I'm sorry. My hand hit my mic stand, and so my mic totally like smashed my face in like for a second. I wasn't sure if it came through the audio or not. My bad.
No,
Hopefully.
you're good,
Hopefully
man.
you did.
I thought like I looked funny, like more than normal. So I was
No.
curious what it was.
No,
I thought I
totally.
saw something, and I looked down, and I was like, Mike's just, laughing his ass off. I'm like, what is going on?
Totally smashed my face in. That was awesome.
No, I mean it's
we all have him rated high. Is there any like sentiment out there that Joe Burrow isn't awesome? I mean, we're over the
I don't
injury
think
scare,
so.
right?
I wanted to put him at 2, to be honest, above Lamar, but I didn't feel like y'all arguing with me that hard.
Yeah, you'd be wrong.
Yeah, well, not that. I actually don't think I might be after this year, but I mean, really, the only thing that's ever put Burrow down is the injuries. So if we can get a healthy season, I think there's going to be just as much argument for him to be 1 or 2 as, minus Jaden going crazy as anybody else.
But Lamar and Josh have so much rushing that's
They do.
just Burrow will never get there over those guys.
I think Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
But the team has to be good for somebody to win it.
They have to be good enough.
He might win Offensive Player of the Year, but MVP is. I don't think they're a playoff team.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, they might not.
All right, let's move on to our next 5. Austin, who you got?
6, Jalen Hurts. 7, C.J. Stroud. 8, Caleb Williams. 9, Drake May. And 10, Bo Nix.
Mike?
6, Patrick Mahomes. 7, Bo Nix. 8, Drake May. 9, Caleb Williams. And 10, Justin Herbert.
I've got 6 Mahomes, 7 May, 8 Nix, 9 Herbert, 10 Caleb Williams.
I got to tell you, it's really hard not like commenting while you're throwing these out. Like Mike, you have Bo Nix above Drake May. Explain yourself.
Absolutely. Which rookie threw the most touchdowns last year?
Boy.
I'm just wondering. And rushed for over 400 yards.
Let's make these questions rhetorical. Keep it going, Mike.
And finished as the QB7, which Drake May, like, how many games do we think he started? May.
Rhetorical. Let's keep
13.
It's not rhetorical. Gosh, I'm wondering if you guys are knowing. All right, Drake May started 13 games.
Yeah,
He had
that's what I
15
said.
touchdowns and 10 picks. Bo Nix had 29 touchdowns and 12 picks. Like, he has proven it, and Drake May has not. And I would much rather take the Champagne offense and the weapons in Denver, which is Sutton,
But let's
Franklin.
not brag over the weapons in Denver now.
Okay,
Come
now,
on
who's
now.
who's the wide receiver 2 in New England?
Kyle Williams. Duh. It's better than Troy Franklin.
Or Douglas, maybe? Tight end,
Nah,
corpse
it's
of
gonna be
Hunter
Kyle
Henry?
Williams.
I think it's Booty.
No, it's not. They were talking about it. He didn't know he's going to make the team.
I would take all the weapons there over what they have going on in New England. Like, yeah, I do think May is going to make a big leap in his second year, which actually he's like my prime target for redraft because of how much later he goes. But he's also got a brand new head coach, brand new offensive system, whereas Bo Nix is going to the next year of the same thing, only getting better as far as I see. So I like the stability of not having the coaching changes, and you can't deny the numbers. Like, even if you doubled May's numbers, which, I mean, Nick's only played 4 more games than May, and he had almost twice the touchdowns and similar
Situations.
picks.
I think
And
the
both-
situations are similar as far as the weapons. I think it's pretty similar. Like Diggs compared to Sutton, Travion compared to Harvey and Dobbins. And then the rest of everything else is kind of blah for both teams.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Diggs is the best weapon out of the 2 situations for me personally.
Maybe, but he's coming off of a major injury at over the age of 30, so who knows?
Okay. And
That's a
Sutton
big-
looked like for 30 years now and finally had a good season. So
It's his third contract, Chad, that he signed this offseason. to be fair, like Austin and I cut Sutton in our RSO league a couple years ago, and that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, because he looked like crap for a long
where he
time.
actually produced. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
All right.
I mean, compared to what he did last season.
Numbers while you tell.
Compared to what he did last season,
he's had a wide receiver one season before last season.
That was before his injury.
That was before the injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that injury.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
You look like crap when can't say you look like crap when you have a wide receiver one season.
No, but he's not the same guy.
Mike,
It's a
I'm not
different
saying
player.
that he's always looked like crap. I'm saying that there was a stint where Cortland Sutton was vastly underperforming expectation.
That was with Russ at quarterback or who at quarterback?
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go.
I'm just what? You're not going to blame anything on the quarterback? And the situation there with freaking a head coach that gets fired midseason?
So let's get
like
back
you
on
got to
track.
have some context instead of just
God.
throwing numbers out there. Chad.
I'm comparing the situation to Diggs. I'm saying that we're talking about Diggs coming back from an injury. Cortland Sutton's also come back from an injury and looked really good. There's the potential that Diggs is still an all-pro wide receiver in New England.
I didn't say there wasn't, but I was just defending the fact you said Sutton was crap.
He was crap.
He wasn't last year.
He wasn't last year. Yeah, of course.
And the end of the year before. I'll give him that much.
But there was a period of time where Sutton was dealing with injuries where he was crap.
It's true.
True.
You know how we know that, Mike? Because we cut him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be the Bo Nix hater. I'm not getting out of this Bo Nix conversation without being the hater. First off, it's Sean Payton. That's the first evil in his life.
I feel like that's going to be such a downturn of this offense because you
I
hate him so much.
Yeah, well, that's a big reason. But he just feels like a prime candidate to regress. Like, we see so many second-year quarterbacks come in and not look as good after the first year with a full season of tape. And I'm sorry, but I don't think he's talented enough to overcome those that fast. So I have a feeling defenses will figure out Sean Payton's system better and limit some of the 20-yard explosives that they did last year. So that's kind of my red flag. I had him at 13 the last time we did this, and I moved him up 10 just because I'm getting a little bit more confidence overall, just that maybe he ain't going to be that bad, but he is one of my prime regression candidates for this year.
It's just with the explosives, like they didn't have explosive players last year, which I think is
A system
showing Nick's actually like knows what he's doing, and actually getting it there. Yeah, he was
terrible.
terrible.
The offense has
He
gotten
was
better
terrible.
too. I mean, Evan
He was terrible
Ingram
to
is a
start the season.
significant add.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of the running backs are too.
Yeah.
Yes.
My point was that I think the offensive weapons are pretty similar in both places. Drake May didn't have, he's got a new coaching staff. And he's got a competent coaching staff. We've seen this coaching staff be competent in the past. There's an adult in the room now. So for me, I boil it down to talent. So Chad, tell me why Drake May is more talented than.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously he's more talented. We know that. I mean, everybody's been able to
I
see
know that.
Yeah, everybody
you.
knows that. But I think you're not going to like my answer here because I actually flip-flopped the two quite a number of times before the podcast. I don't know who's going to be better this season. I don't know who's going to be better going forward. I do like the Denver situation better. I don't think the situations are that similar. But that being said, I do think that there is a good chance that Stephon Diggs is the best weapon of the two offenses, and that's going to help Drake May quite a bit. So that gives him a shot there.
And we haven't even mentioned what Travion will do for Drake May.
Yeah, with the explosive plays.
We can talk about RJ and JK all we like, but Travion is a superior weapon in the passing game than either one of those pieces. So, he could easily get him 600 to 800 yards receiving just off of, checkdowns.
Absolutely.
He's already had a 100-yard touchdown in the preseason.
Yeah. That didn't help Drake May at all because it was a kickoff,
Yeah.
but it's possible.
It just shows his explosiveness. I'm telling you, I think the weapons are all in all, the situation and the weapons are pretty similar. You have Josh McDaniels there. He's shown that when he's not the head coach, when he's the offensive coordinator, the offense works. He's a good offensive coordinator. I would take him over Sean Payton as an offensive coach. Be honest.
I can't do that, and I hate Sean Payton, but I'll take Sean Payton. What you got for me, Jesse?
Technical issues. Mike, are you uploading? You're not. Yeah, I got the same thing. Yeah. Maybe try clear cache. Yeah. Try leaving and coming back.
See ya.
In the meantime,
Chad's muted.
Chad's muted. We're having an awesome time. We are on brand.
This is what you get for bringing Bo Nix and Sean Payton into a conversation for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That was a good conversation.
I was actually just apologizing to our YouTube listeners, and then I was also just throwing out there that, maybe we should stick with cashing.
Yeah. No cachet here. Yeah.
Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It's cash.
All right. Well,
I wasn't going to correct you because you're old. Like, you didn't.
Roots.
You were old when like cash became a thing. So,
you
didn't learn that in
that's
school.
correct.
I
I think of it as if I were to walk into a kitchen being a chef, I carry a certain cachet.
There's no little apostrophe thing right above the E.
There isn't?
No.
In Jesse's defense, though, they should have just spelled it
Yeah.
CASH and just called it
Or even
CH.
CH.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really confusing because it is a French word, but it doesn't have the little accent.
No cachet here.
No cachet. I don't know if Mike's coming
I
back.
actually don't know if it's a French word, too.
It looks French.
It does look French, yeah. I mean, a lot of words with the E's on the end look French.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on.
It
to
is
our next.
French, by the way, just so you know.
Is it?
Yep.
Look at you guys.
Late 18th century.
Late 18th
Well, no, I know
century.
cachet is French. I didn't know if what we were talking about, cash and cookies, is French.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to look that up.
All right, let's go move on to our next five. Austin, what do you got?
I have, what am I on, 11? Yeah, 11 Justin Herbert, 12 Jordan Love, 13 Brock Purdy, 14 Baker Mayfield, and 15 Kyler Murray.
Chad, what do you got?
I've got 11 CJ Stroud, 12 Brock Purdy, 13 Mayfield, 14 Goff, and 15 Trevor Lawrence.
Why do you love Trevor Lawrence?
Well, that I do,
All right.
man.
All right, why do you love CJ Stroud?
Because I think he's going to dominate this year.
So
This is a projection for me.
yeah, it is a projection. It's for a non-rushing threat. Explain to me how you get there.
4,500 yards and 35 to 40 touchdowns.
Yeah, how do you get there after last year?
I mean, last year was completely. Bobby Slowick looked terrible after like 3 or 4 games at offensive coordinator. Their whole O-line got hurt. Laramie Tunsil didn't care. Their whole receiving core got hurt. I mean, they didn't have anything. They had Joe Mixon and CJ Stroud. And Stroud showed his main flaw coming out of college, which was not doing good under pressure. This offseason, they got a new OC, new line coach. They traded Laramie Tunsil because he didn't care. I actually listened to some Houston beat reporters a couple weeks ago, and the people they brought in, it looks like the O-line is meshed really well. They're not going to be big-name talented players, but it looks like they meshed, which for an offensive line is more important than anything else. So for me, if he can stay upright, and they drafted a guy in the second and third in Higgins and Knoll, and that gives me 2 more weapons for them, traded for Christian Kirk. It just feels like a year that CJ Stroud's going to have a big bounce back. So I'm actually all aboard a player that I wasn't super high on coming out, but I do think he's going to succeed to a different level than what we saw last year.
So you're just assuming all of that's going to get fixed?
I mean, I don't think all of it has to. For me, it's the offensive line. That's what has to get better. If the offensive line is at least league average, then I think you're going to see a CJ Stroud that we saw rookie year, which was borderline QB1 numbers. And in Dynasty, a young guy that does that, they go up. That's just how it works.
Okay.
And I do think this is his best receiving weapons he's had in his career.
Chad, what do you think?
About CJ Stroud?
Yeah, I mean, you think that's a little high, or?
I mean, I think that's high, obviously. I mean, I have him at 11, which I thought was kind of wishful thinking. So, I mean, I think that's high personally. I mean, I could probably talk myself into it just because the whole range of players here are just kind of wishful thinking, but yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys. It's going to be very team dependent, offensive coordinator dependent, as Austin was talking about. That kind of scares me. I prefer my quarterbacks to have rushing upside or have a level of consistency within their production. C.J. Stroud last year looked awful. He looked awful. You know, we can come up with any excuse in the book for it, but he still has to look better than he looked last season, regardless of what's around him, because elite quarterbacks tend to look good even when the players around them don't.
I would not agree with that, but we would all say Patrick Mahomes is elite, correct?
Mahomes still looks like a good quarterback when
He
he's
did
playing.
not in the Super Bowl when the Eagles pressured him.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can talk.
64% of
We can
snaps.
talk about
But that's my
specific
point,
games,
is
but
because
we're
of
talking about an
pressure.
entire season.
Well, Mahomes has never been pressured for 60% of his snaps. I mean, Stroud's pressure
Yeah,
rate
but
was like
Burrow
50% on the
right?
season.
Did his line
Burrow
get better
is
though?
Burrow is an
Weapon.
elite quarterback. Mahomes, we can't say Mahomes hasn't faced that amount of pressure, and therefore, if he had, he would struggle for an entire season. We've seen elite quarterbacks that have had that amount of pressure for an entire season and have done well.
Not many. Burrow is the exception,
Well,
realistically.
that's not many quarterbacks are elite quarterbacks.
Let's welcome back Mike. Welcome back, Mike.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back. Burrow is that's what he does best. If you blitz him or you pressure him, he's going to beat you where the pressure comes from. He diagnoses it before the snap. He and Tom Brady are probably the best two I've ever seen at that.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
statistically, Burrow is the best currently in the league by like a large margin when pressured. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You can't blitz him. The only thing it was the same with Brady. The only thing you can do is drop back and hope that you can
Yeah,
cover.
so I mean, that's my point. Is what I'm saying is, if a quarterback does not have rushing upside, if he doesn't have rushing ability, and he is dependent on his offensive line being at least good, then it's tough, because you have guys like Drake May, you have guys like Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and that's just a range of people who you're anticipating to take major leaps, or people who are very, very consistent in what they've been able to do the last several years. So that's my point of having him in that range at, I think, what is it, 7?
Yeah. I mean, he's just at the top of that tier for me. Like you said, they are all question marks. So for me, Stroud's going to finish better than the other 4 guys I have in that tier. That's all it is.
Okay, fair enough. Mike, let's hear your 11 through 15.
Sure. All right. At 11, I had Stroud, 12, Jordan Love, 13, Kyler, 14, Purdy, and 15, Baker.
Austin, I choose you again.
That's what we like to hear. I'm ready for battle, sir.
All right, so you have Purdy here. Really, just what I'm curious with Purdy is he lost Debo, even though Debo looked a little washed. He lost Ayuk at least probably half the season, and it's going to take a ramp up period. Probably won't be himself until the end of the season. And then every other guy that they brought in got hurt. Juwan Jennings is holding out. Is all this going to affect him?
Yeah,
Like
of course. It would affect any quarterback in the league.
Did it affect your ranking?
Not really, because this tier is really flat for me. So I'll take it. The only 2 people that I could possibly move ahead of would be Baker and Kyler. And Baker I really thought about, but given that big contract he just got and the age difference, I just had Purdy ahead of him. And Kyler has just as many question marks for his success. So he just stuck at 13. I think I moved Love above him. I'm excited for that offense. So maybe he went down 1, but realistically, he's right at that. He's a high-end QB2 for me in Dynasty, and that's kind of where I have him.
I was going to say, you could say, obviously he lost, Debo and won't have Ayuk to start. But this year he does have Christian McCaffrey and he does have Pearsall to start, which I think is something that's really important.
And still has Kittle.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing that, and when you say it like that, they're all different position players, and we don't know what Pearsall is, but we think he can be pretty good. But that's 3 could be really, really good players that could support him. Where
we can
some other
confidently say-
quarterbacks don't have that, right?
It's 2 elite weapons.
Yeah,
we can say that
elite
confidently.
as long as they're healthy, right? So,
And George, I mean, Kittle's by far the best player at his position in the NFL. I'm not saying as a receiver, but just between the blocking.
Yeah, as an overall
Everything
all
he does.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say by far, but I
Yeah,
would
I'm
say
not going to go
I
that
would
far.
agree.
I'm not
I
going to go that
would.
far.
I would. There's not too many guys that do all the things that Kittle.
I mean, I think there's by far.
Yeah, Goddard's close. You're right.
Ha, I knew you were going to say that.
Close to the end of his career, maybe. Yeah, but one
Anyway,
is significantly
let's get to
older.
tight ends later. Let's get to tight ends
If
later.
we make it there at this point,
Yeah.
who knows?
So Purdy versus Kyler is actually a good question. You know, Kyler was always seen as having, better talent, but man, he just was so inconsistent last year. Was that because he's still recovering from the injury, or is it because he just plays too much Call of Duty?
He's been
think it's just-
inconsistent his whole career, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
I feel like it's been like that.
yeah. I mean, Call of Duty's a fun talking point, right? But Kyler's just not been good enough. And
Yeah.
to be fair, Brock Purdy's been one of the safest options in the NFL at quarterback
Yeah,
for
I
some
agree.
time now. So
I agree. And I think that the narrative that, he lost all of these weapons just doesn't take into consideration the other positions. It's just, if you look at just wide receiver,
Christian McCaffrey is the great equalizer, right? Like he
he
is
really is.
so phenomenal at his position. It not only
catch
opens up the
100
passing
balls,
game,
yeah.
but he is such an elite part of the passing game, right? So it's one of those things where, I mean, I don't care who you lost. You have Kittle, you have McCaffrey. You're probably not going to do that bad.
Yeah, the yak for Kittle and McCaffrey. Like, I would love that as a quarterback to pad my stats.
I know you guys hate my old references or whatever, but do you remember the old Bugs Bunny commercial or Bugs Bunny cartoon when he played baseball? And he played every position.
Talking about Space Jam?
I remember Space Jam. Yeah,
No.
that's when I was a kid, Jesse.
He's
Yeah.
talking about the black and white one.
I think I
We're
did see
talking
on
about-
the Vintage Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Bugs
yeah.
Bunny literally played every position. That's what Christian McCaffrey reminds me of.
Yeah.
When he's out there. They
Gotcha.
just
Gotcha.
everything with it. All right, let's hear your 16 through 20, Austin.
16, I won't change it. Trevor Lawrence, 17, Bryce Young, 18, Jared Goff.
What a way to start a
19.
ranking. Is like,
I won't change
it.
19, JJ McCarthy, and 20, Cam Ward.
Mike. No, Chad.
What? Just
No,
pick
Mike.
someone. Go, Mike.
16, Trevor. 17, Cam Ward. 18, Bryce Young. 19, JJ McCarthy.
Probably Chad's the only one left.
Yeah, I am. 16, Jordan Love. 17, Kyler. 18, Bryce Young. 19, McCarthy. 20, Cam Ward.
All right, a lot to unpack here. So, Chad, my question with JJ is, are you just like plugging him in for Sam Darnold, or do you think the Vikings will take like more of a run heavy approach, and you think that'll affect JJ's numbers? I know he's got elite weapons to throw to, but are they gonna take the training wheels off of him?
I mean, I have every trust. I really respect that coaching staff. I
That's right.
really, really, really like that coaching staff. And so if they let Sam Darnold know, or if they let him go, that's by design, right? They think JJ McCarthy is a better quarterback. And so I'm going with it. I think JJ McCarthy at this point is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold is. Not talking about them as prospects. I'm talking about them current day. I think JJ McCarthy is likely to be a better quarterback because the guy that I think is probably the best quarterback guru in the league at the moment says he is. And I'm just going to go with it.
That's right.
With you. Well said.
Retweet.
All right, Mike, you have Cam Ward above some of the other young quarterbacks like JJ McCarthy, Bryce Young, Penix. Why?
Again, like, they're all in the same tier for me, to be fair. So I'd probably take either with a pick. There's not a whole lot separating the two, but I just like the upside with the unknown in Cam Ward. And we know, like, he could have really good rushing dual threat capability, right? So we know Penix is like pretty much just a pocket passer. So like I don't want to say his ceiling is like Goff in his prime or something like that, but he's not a huge runner. And JJ McCarthy's in a similar vein. Like, we don't know any more about JJ McCarthy in the NFL than we do about Cam Ward. So again, I do agree with Chad. I probably trust the quarterback coach there more, and he's definitely got better weapons, but I don't know. He's number 1 overall pick for a reason. He's the least talked about number 1 pick, I think, of my lifetime. So, and then, yeah. So just a little bit in the unknown, but to be completely honest, there's not a lot separating these guys.
So he's a boat, right? Or he's behind door number 1, right? And then
Yeah, he
JJ
was the
McCarthy
number
is
1
a boat.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And then
a
JJ
cruise liner.
He's a boat,
Yeah,
right?
he's a boat.
He's a boat. So it's it could be anything behind door number 1.
I had
It
to
could
go.
even be a boat.
Jesse, you've got to start with the door thing. You can't just say he's a boat.
Yeah,
We're talking about.
I know.
So he's a boat.
I totally killed that one. So he sits behind
So
door
what
number
you're saying is that Cam Ward is a vacation, right, to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of those guys in the tier there could be a boat behind door number 1 is what
Right.
I'm saying, because we've got 3 games from Penix between, we're talking Penix, JJ, and Ward. We got 3 games between those 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. So,
But
could be a
Thank
boat.
you guys. Thank you guys for understanding me.
I got you. We got that. We got
There's
that
nobody
one.
else in the world that understands me like you guys. Austin and Chad. Let's talk a little Bryce Young.
Oh, let's do it. Chad, go
Yeah,
first, man.
Who's that? Just kidding.
That's the guy you didn't bring up in this
Yeah.
entire conversation.
So was Bryce Young's hot stretch last year for real? Is he able to elevate the players around him? Is he a game manager? Was that just a hot stretch? What do we got? Chad, break it down for me, please.
Actually, Austin had a fun little chart that he posted in our group chat a little bit ago, and I want him to talk about that because I'm really interested to hear what he has to say.
So it's put me on the spot. I wish I'd had it pulled up, but
yeah, I
There it
think
is.
for me, Bryce Young is a truck, not a trailer, as Daniel Jeremiah likes to say.
there you go.
A truck, not a trailer.
Could he be a
Pulls
boat?
the offense.
He could be a boat.
Yeah, he could be. he's a truck, not a boat.
It's going to be the name of this podcast. Are they a boat?
All right, so Bryce last year, and this is weeks 1 through 18, which, as everybody knows, his first 2 weeks were about as bad a football as we saw from a quarterback last year. So, including weeks 1 through 18, he was second in the league in big play throws. So it's basically a stat that shows where the quarterback made something either out of nothing or made the best possible play that the offensive play could give. Second in the league behind only Josh Allen. And he was also 6th in the league, lowest in turnover-worthy throws. Well, he threw 5 interceptions in the first 3 games he played. Even if, including those, that's a pretty impressive stat. So all that to say is, assuming that he doesn't revert back to week 1, there's no reason we don't see what we saw last year in the second half of the season out of Bryce. Control of the offense, gained a true alpha at wide receiver. Another year where the O-line comes back completely healthy. Same exact O-line as last year, which at the minimum was league average. We would assume second year in an offensive system, it gets better.
It was a good line.
Yeah. And then just to go off of when he really started to click the last 3 games of the season, 10 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Now, do I expect that? No. But to show that he can do that for fantasy makes a big difference.
That throw that he should have beaten the Eagles on.
Yeah.
Was nasty.
I mean, it's an absolute dot.
Yeah.
And he did that the whole second half of the season, was just put it where only the receiver can catch it. And that's what we saw at Alabama. That's what we expected to see in the NFL. And he finally did it for what I would say is a large enough sample size to assume that's what happens going forward.
Except when you're throwing to Xavier Legette, it's not putting the ball where the wide receiver can only get to it. It's putting it where the wide receiver is going to drop it.
Yeah.
And that's a very important distinction.
Yeah.
Because
I would say
awful.
you have to throw it at his chest, but he did that against the Saints, and then he let the Saints defensive back just take it from him and give Bryce an interception.
Yeah, when he throws to Legette and it hits him in the chest, and it literally hits him in the chest and bounces off, and that's a drop. I love it.
So, them moving off Thielen gives me a little worry for the early on season. I mean, it's a young receiver group now. They have 7 guys, and the average age is under 24 years old. So it's a little worry from that aspect early on. There will be some rough patches, I'm sure. But I'll say Jalen Coker is not your average second-year player. Even last year as a rookie, he looked like a veteran in the league, creating the separation when he need, using his angles, presenting a big body and hands target, turning around. So he's going to be that Adam Thielen. He's going to get peppered. He got announced starting slot this week. He's going to get fed targets. And now, instead of Bryce having to throw this ball to Adam Thielen, those deep balls that they connected on so much, he now has a 6'4", 4'5" guy that he can actually throw it to and hopefully get another yard after catching the ball, unlike Thielen just falling every time. So there's definitely a good room for optimism. Obviously, there's a little worry, which is why he's at 17 for me instead of higher. But I think for fantasy, you can easily see 3,500 yards, 25 to 30 touchdowns, and probably 400 yards on the ground. I mean, he had almost 300 last year in the 10-game stretch. So there's no reason to think he can't get close to 500.
Mike, was this all early last year all Deontay Johnson's fault?
The guy that's not going to be in the league anymore? Yeah, probably. If you can't make the wide receiving core of the Cleveland Browns in 2025, yeah, you're probably a problem.
Was it Deontay Johnson that couldn't figure out the Panthers mascot when he was playing for the Panthers?
No, that was Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson. That's like,
Robbie
if you haven't
Anderson.
seen that
Yeah.
video, look it up now. It's hilarious.
It is that Mary.
All right,
My man
I
says, "What
think I
that
need
bear
to
doing?"
pause the podcast. I need to see
It
this.
is really funny.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, but no, Deontay Johnson was the one that said, "No, I don't want to go in. I'm cold," when he was with Baltimore. So then he got cut.
Oh man, if you're cold, you're cold, right?
You're cold, you're cold. Yeah, Baltimore can be cold, I guess, in the winter.
Yeah. You want to talk about an ultimate bag fumble? My man was going to be the wide receiver 1 for a team the entire season and went to playing for 4 teams and not even being on a roster. Like, he lost millions of dollars just not playing with Carolina.
And you were so excited for him too.
I was, man. It was
I
a
was-
perfect
I
target
was
for
too,
Bryce.
yeah.
It really was. And then it wasn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, there might be some CTE involved in there.
I just want to throw this out there because I truly do believe it. I am not as worried as I know Austin is a resident Carolina Panthers fan, so I feel kind of bad stepping on his toes here. I don't feel scared about Jalen Coker taking over Adam Thielen at all. I love it. I think from day one it's going to be better. You look at Jalen Coker, who had 0 drops on the year. His QBR when he was targeted was tied for 25th in the league. The yards per route run was second for any rookie, only second to Ladd, and he was third in the NFL with an 11.4 catch rate over expected. So I'm super excited. I think he's immediately a better option than Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen averaged 7 targets a game, which I think is vastly over targeted for where he currently sits as a player. So I'm excited to see how Jalen Coker steps into that slot role and how he performs.
They'll miss the veteran leadership.
That's what I meant
That's
by
the
nervous.
one thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not nervous with Coker at all. I mean, he's my most rostered player in Dynasty for a reason. When you have your top 3 receivers are first or second year players, there's going to be times where they mess up on the route, where they don't break him when they're supposed to. That's what I mean by little rough patches early on. But by the end of the season, the offense should absolutely outperform any potential than if Adam Thielen was on the roster.
And you would hope Bryce going into year 3 can solve that, right?
Correct.
Like he should step in as a leader and be able to organize this group of young wide receivers and direct them. If he can at this point, then that's on him.
Yeah, that's a bigger problem. If he has to rely on a 35-year-old vet to make an offense click, then it's a Bryce Young problem. So I do agree with that statement as well.
All right. Well, we move on to our next 5. Austin, what do you got?
I have 21 Michael Penix, 22 Dak Prescott, 23 Tua, 24 Jackson Dart, 25 Sam Darnold. Chad?
I've got 21 Michael Penix, 22 Jackson Dart, 23 Dak Prescott, 24 Tua, 25 Sam Darnold.
And Mike?
21 Jared Goff, 22 Michael Penix, 23 Tua, 24 Dart, and 25 Sam Darnold.
All right. Out of this group, let's see. Mike, I choose you.
I knew it.
Jonnu Smith?
What?
Sorry.
I love show sheets. They're so great to guide the conversation.
I meant Jared Goff?
What a great YouTube short this is going to be.
Yeah.
Johnny Smith converts the quarterback.
Why do you have Dak above Goff, and why are you so low on Goff overall?
So I think losing his OC is a bigger deal than a lot of people think. And I think his center retiring is also a bigger deal than a lot of people think. He was 4th in the league in passing TDs last year, and he still only finished as the QB6. And that's with absolutely no running capability whatsoever. I just don't see any way he can go up after this season. And whereas Dak, when healthy, actually like at least has some rushing upside. And I think Pickens there is a massive addition to that offense. And now that we know that defense traded Micah Parsons, I'm sorry, but I think it can be like one of the worst in the league, which is great for fantasy, right? We want some shootouts. So, and Dak's had a rushing touchdown every year he's been in the league. So it's that puts me above.
A rushing touchdown?
Rushing touchdown every year he's been in the league.
That's what puts him above Goff for you.
And everything else that I said with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, probably one of the best wide receivers. When I'm talking about a statue of Goff who rushes for less than like 50 yards a year, yeah, like I don't think Goff is. Does anybody think Goff's dynasty ranking can actually go up after this year?
I don't need it to go up. I don't even want it
just
to go
need it
up.
to stay the same.
I just want him to be who he's been or close to it, and I'm thrilled with that. Give me low-end QB1 numbers for the next 3 years, and I'm thrilled.
Yeah,
Whereas
I don't think it.
out of me for that.
I don't think it will. Is what I think.
That's
we're
all got projections.
Yeah, right. Like I just think statue quarterbacks like him are they're fading to the wayside. There's not a whole lot like him anymore.
I mean, I don't think Dak is the model of mobility at this point.
Because you're an Eagles fan, but,
especially after the injuries. But what I just want to throw this out there because I think it's a kind of a interesting thought with some new news that's creeped into our lives here with Micah Parsons being traded and how this affects Dak Prescott, because they just got 2 additional first-round picks. Dak has not been the model of success for the Cowboys. There's been rumors of them getting rid of him for some years now. Dak has been in a good situation for a long time with the Cowboys. Say what you will, he's played with some really good players in Dallas. Typically, teams that take up quarterbacks like Dak, when they leave their team, they're not in a situation that the Cowboys have put him in for some time now, having wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb, offensive lines that most years have been pretty good. Some years not so much, but for the most part, it's been good there. I'm nervous. I'm nervous that Dak is not long for a career in Dallas.
He has massive cap hits until 2029. So, and with Jerry being crazy Jerry, there's no way they're getting rid of Dak.
Yeah, like after this year, he still has a dead cap of $130 million.
Woof.
2025
this year.
74 million in 2026, 68 million in 2027, 78 in 2028.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like even after 2027, it's almost 60 million in dead cap.
The way they manage their team is just out of control. Bad.
So, I mean, I do think there's an avenue they draft young, but moving off of Dak, he'll have to be bad, like plain and simple bad, for them to want to eat that much money.
Or not healthy, right? Which we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah, fair.
All right, Austin, despite having Sam Darnold ranked basically the same as the rest of us, you seem to hate his guts. Give me the doom and gloom.
Well, I think last year was the perfect situation for Sam Darnold, and we're going to see him revert back to a shell of his pumpkin self. He had, as Chad's already mentioned, the best QB coach in the league. We all agreed on with Kevin O'Connell, and probably one of, if not the best receiving skill group in the league as well. He's going to having JSN, which we all really like, which has been up and down a lot. And then Torrey Horton has his 3.
Yeah, Torrey Horton, talented guy. Won that job over an NFL veteran. Say what you want about MVS, but they cut him for Torrey Horton.
I mean, I hope so. If MVS is your 3rd, then you got a big problem.
Elijah Arroyo, the running backs are really good. Charbonnet can catch passes. I mean, it's a good skill group. It's not Jeff. It's not KOC as his coach. I understand that, but
do you want to know the worst part about all of it?
The line.
They had the 32nd O-line last year, and didn't figure it out good enough to see that big of a jump. Darnold has always struggled under pressures.
Well, the good thing is Kubiak's going to run a lot of play action, which is what really helped
Yep,
Darnold
it
last
did.
year. So Kubiak runs a very similar system to KOC. They're from the same tree. It's a lot of the same concepts. I understand the coaching is not going to be the same, but I have confidence that Darnold can run this system. Chad, you seem to find all of this hilarious.
No, he's laughing at himself for his text message that he sent. Just let it go. Go ahead, Chad. Tell us why this is right or wrong.
I wasn't listening, to be honest with you. No, I think Sam Darnold's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be slightly better than we expect Sam Darnold to be. I do like the situation he finds himself in. I don't think he's a really good quarterback. I think he's just an okay quarterback, and that's why he's ranked where he's ranked.
All right. That's enough out of quarterbacks. We still have tight ends to do. So let's say we move on to that. Austin, give me your top 10 tight ends.
10. Okay. 1, Brock Bowers. 2, Trey McBride. 3, Sam Laporta. 4, Tyler Warren. 5, George Kittle. 6, TJ Hawkinson. 7, Colston Loveland. 8, Dalton Kincaid. 9, Tucker Kraft. And 10, David Njoku.
Chad?
I've got 1, Brock Bowers. 2, Trey McBride. 3, Tyler Warren. 4, George Kittle. 5, Laporta. 6, Hawkinson. 7, Loveland. 8, Tucker Kraft. 9, Dalton Kincaid. And 10, Mark Andrews.
I got Bowers at 1, McBride at 2, Sam Laporta at 3, George Kittle at 4, Tyler Warren at 5, Colson Loveland at 6, DJ Hawkinson at 7, Mark Andrews at 8, Tucker Kraft at 9, and Dalton Kincaid at 10.
All right. So my question to you guys as a group is, how many of those guys are actually relevant? Like,
all 10 of them?
Yeah. So what I mean by that is worth more than a second round pick.
All 10 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say all 10 of them, yeah.
All 10.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft included?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, let me make a distinction here, because I think there's 7 guys that I would pay a first for.
Who are the
And-
3 that you would not?
Tucker Kraft, Kincaid, and Mark Andrews.
Fair. Yeah. I
3
wouldn't pay a
3 guys
first
that
for
are
any of
somewhere
those.
between a first and somewhere above a second.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay a first for any of those guys. All right. When we started talking about these rankings and putting this list together and the show sheet, everybody wanted to talk about Tyler Warren. So explain to me why the QB situation is not going to ruin his season and kind of his dynasty value overall going into next year.
I want Chad to go because he now has him at 3 above George Kittle. And I think I had that a couple months ago, and he said I was crazy. So please tell me why Tyler Warren is 3, which I'm okay with because I still have him above George Kittle.
I never said Tyler Warren was crazy at 3. I said Mark Andrews was crazy. I never said Tyler Warren was crazy. Hey, I like Tyler Warren ahead of George Kittle just because of the future proofing your roster and the potential that he is a top 3 tight end. I love Tyler Warren. I think he's a slightly less version of what Brock Bowers was coming out. I like him better as a prospect than even I like Trey McBride, and I thought Trey McBride was a really good prospect coming out. But for me, it's all about future proofing the position and trying to figure out, hey, is there a third guy that's going to come through? I'm not as high on Loveland as some people are, and I don't like the situation as much. I know that's probably a hot take as well, but I enjoyed Tyler Warren at 3. I'm very comfortable with him being there.
Mike, do you think it's too high?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the coaching staff for Indy has said Daniel Jones is going to start the whole season, and I'll trust him all day to actually feed those guys targets. So he could be the target leader in that offense, I think is what it is, right? I know one of the big things that I heard about him coming out is we all love Brock Bowers, right? And he smashed a lot of Bowers' records. So, yeah, in college.
All right. So, I mean, Daniel Jones has been mistake prone. Coaches have hated him his entire career, injury prone as well.
None of
You
that
really
is
think-
true. I mean, injury prone is true. Mistake prone is true. But
Okay.
the
None of that is true, but two of those are true.
but 50% is false. Okay. Well,
I just
I
think
mean,
there's a good
honestly,
chance
honestly,
we
he's
see
a
Richardson.
well, he's a boat, right? So
Who's a boat? Tyler Warren? Tyler Warren is a boat. I agree with
no, but Daniel Jones has been able to feed a number one receiver in Dynasty. We've seen that, right? That is the big question for me. That's the only thing that matters. Him being hated by coaches, not a thing. He was loved by his coach in New York. He's coaches want him to succeed. They want him to do well because he does everything right, except for make those big mistakes, right? Which when you have Anthony Richardson behind you, you kind of got a little bit of a safety blanket there because he makes bigger mistakes.
I mean, is that number one receiver going to be Michael Pittman? You know, is it going to be? I just don't know that he's going to see the concentration.
It'd be Warren.
Well, I think he's going to be the center focus of the offense. What they've had hasn't worked the past few years, quarterback aside. The offense hasn't worked. I believe there's a reason they drafted him. I mean, they've looked for a tight end the past 3 years in drafts, and every year the team jumps him or takes him right in front of them. I mean, they finally got the guy that I think they believe can be a center point in offense, and he's proven he can be. There aren't many guys that come out of college as the 1A of an offense, and that's what he did. He had 1,400 yards last year in college.
It's a
Broke
fair
Bauer's
chance.
record by 400 yards.
It's a fair chance that all of these pieces around Tyler Warren are gone next year. The coaches,
That's fine too.
the quarterbacks, Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, they could all be gone.
And I don't really care about that, to be honest. Like for him, the cool
Fresh
thing
start.
about tight ends is they're pretty easy to centerpiece in an offense because, you know, you can just run 5 yards down the field is pretty common for tight ends. But he's also athletic enough that he was an H-back.
Yeah.
You know,
As I was
give him
going to say,
touches.
it's even easier for Tyler Warren because he can do literally everything in your offense.
All right. You've eased my worries a little bit. Let's move to Kincaid. Austin, is this his last chance?
And depends on the fashion you're speaking. Because the tight end landscape is so ugly, the simple answer is no, because there's not
Is-
enough guys that can jump him.
Is it his last chance to put up a top 10 season?
I mean, again, no, he's 26 or 25 in a
I mean,
high-powered
before-
offense.
Before his value craters, you just can't get anything for him. Is this guy going to die on your roster if he doesn't do it this year?
Jesse, look at our tight end rankings and look at how disgusting it all looks.
Yeah, that's it. Like, even if two of the rookies jump him, let's say that, you know, your boys down there that you have way too high in your rankings, they jump him.
What, Mason Taylor, Arroyo?
And Ferguson, you have
yeah.
all three of them borderline tight end ones is crazy considering the prospects they are. But that's not the point. Let's say two of them.
Disagree completely, but go on.
Let's say two of them do jump in dynasty rankings. Who else is going to really jump them to knock them out of that where Kyle Pitts is right now? Most of them have him. I think all
That's
of them
a
have him
really-
above 15.
That's a really good point, and it brings me to my next question. Mike, you have Kyle Pitts at 11.
Why?
That's not a question.
He broke.
Yeah, I don't think that was a sentence.
He broke the tight end most receiving yards as a rookie, right? And
Like
he's
7 years ago.
he's 24 years old, Jesse.
Yeah.
I,
think he's
he was
younger
that-
than one of your rookie loves.
Is he really 24?
That's one of
Yeah.
the things. Yeah, that's one of the things I looked up. Is I was like, how young actually is this dude? Right, and I'd rather see a full season with Michael Penix, you know, than with the corpse of Kirk Cousins and
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter. You know, like that's who was throwing him. Like who else was throwing him the ball, right? When he was
Yeah.
there.
And if
As a
it doesn't
rookie.
work, then hopefully he goes somewhere else. We know
Yeah.
he's talented. Like
Yeah.
we know, we've seen he's talented. We just have to see it click again. So again, with Kincaid, where this all started, maybe the same thing happens. Maybe he doesn't.
It could be
I do-
Goddard's last year in Philly. Just
Oh gosh,
I
Who
do
is
want to
that?
say I do want to just throw out there that the bad quarterback argument can only be taken so far because guys like Drake London have produced. So like yeah, is there a chance that Michael Pittman steps in and Kyle Pitts goes off again and we see another resurgence or even surpasses what he was able to do his rookie year? Maybe it's possible. We know he's a talented player, but there's just something there to where he's not been able to do it with multiple different situations now.
Yeah, one
which is a
thing
little scary.
with the bad QB talk is, as you just mentioned with Daniel Jones, he can feed a target. Bad QBs are going to struggle feeding multiple targets. So the hope is that Penix is at least an average quarterback, which average QBs can typically manufacture fantasy production for 2 players. So the hope would be is that's
Sorry,
on them
finish.
Pitts. You're fine.
I was gonna say, like, Chad, how if we knew Richardson was the starter this year, would Warren be lowered at all? Or
Well, I mean, Richardson isn't a quarterback, so that's a different conversation.
I mean, neither was Desmond Ritter. So if you're going to,
I mean,
Yeah,
Desmond
he's
Ritter,
not even a
Desmond
backup at
Ritter
this point,
played
right?
the position.
no, he didn't.
no,
No, he didn't.
he was
He played the
awful, too.
position.
Pitts
mean,
Pitts
Anthony
got replaced
Richardson.
by-
Anthony Richardson had one of the worst completion percentages in the NFL. Wasn't he like below 50%?
It was below
Yeah,
50%.
yeah, he was.
But Kyle Pitts got replaced by y'all's favorite player, Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, by Arthur Smith. I mean, they had the same last name. Of course, there was collusion there.
Yeah, there's clear collusion.
Come on,
Possibly
now. And
related.
we're
Obviously,
not going to.
We saw Jonnu in Miami. I mean, he's obviously elite.
Yeah,
so.
finished tight end 4. I mean, but that's the landscape's a mess. So,
Yeah.
as Chad was saying, there's 7 of them that we care about. After that, who the heck knows? I mean, there's guys that I'm excited for. We're all excited for certain players, but
All right, yeah, let's do that.
I
Let's
got
throw
excited.
out some of
I
our.
thought we were going to talk about my youth. You were like, as Chad was 7, I was like, what happened?
Pokemon cards.
I was about to say, I'm sure he was trying to catch them all.
Yeah, it definitely was. Oh, for sure. 100%.
All right, let's just throw out some of our favorite young tight ends that could take a jump this year.
Brenton Strange. He is my guy this year.
Is he better than Cade Otton?
I don't know. I don't know.
The good thing is
That's my question.
he is Otton's old
Sorry, I feel like that whole-
coach, right? Is
Right.
there now with Strange. The thing about Otton is he was not great until Godwin went down. So like, do we
Right.
even know if he's that good, right? And so you got Ibuka and Evans there now. So I don't know what Otton's going to look like. And when Godwin comes back, like, gross. I don't think he can. I mean, sure, he could get tight end 1 numbers, right? But as the 4th option, I'm not a huge fan of that. Whereas he could realistically be the 3rd option in Jacksonville.
Strange, yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Liam Cohen use tight ends when they didn't have another weapon. So
And Liam Cohen's kind of strange. So
There you go.
maybe
Yeah,
they find a
that's true.
connection.
that's
I
true.
didn't even know this. Like, Strange did have 3 top 10 finishes in the first 5 weeks of last year, right? Like, not a big deal, but like he actually started off pretty decently, but now the coach is gone. So hopefully it could improve a lot. Yeah.
He's an athletic, decent prospect profile. I mean, I liked Brenton Strange coming out. Matter of fact, I think in a Debbie league, or no, it was a blind draft league where we draft before the NFL draft. I was telling Jesse, got to take this guy, got to take this guy, got to take this guy. He's going to get the draft capital. I mean, he's a good receiving option that was very underutilized in college. I think it's possible for him to find, success in the pros much more than he did in his collegiate career.
And they got nobody else that's any kind of worry at all.
Who else we got? JT Sanders.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm worried he's going to be at best the 3rd option, and I don't know what the 3rd option in that offense looks like production-wise. But he's going to be the clear tight end 1. That's been stated all offseason for the Panthers. So what that means for fantasy, I don't know. That's why all of us have him at basically 20 or below. But there's definitely an upside that he sees production. I mean, he had stints last year where he looked like a true tight end 1 on the team.
Chad, would you rather have JT Sanders or Theo Johnson? Yeah, it's a good question, right?
Yeah.
They're both starting tight ends, right?
It's just one of those, you got to take who you have on your roster and play it out and see how it goes, because who knows if they're going to be actually relevant to their team's success and find any kind of production that you want, even in a flex position. So Theo Johnson, I think, for me, has a chance, but there's also a chance that he's not the starting tight end by the end of the year.
Oh, really? You think Bellinger could take over?
I think they really like the 7th round, I think 7th round pick, Fedone. I think they really like him. I don't think they like Bellinger as much, but Bellinger's been solid. Theo Johnson just has to take another step. He hasn't really lived up to the profile, in my opinion. They need him to show the kind of athletic freak that we thought he would be capable of being. When not played in line. So
Anyone else? I mean, Ben Sinnott. You'd rather have either one of those guys than Ben Sinnott, right?
Yeah, right now because I can get a plus with it, but Senate is interesting because eventually Ertz isn't going to be the starter, and I
Yeah.
think we all like Senate coming out of college, so I think there's a good avenue for him to grow with Daniels. But currently, yes, you'll take the guy that's getting you points and use that to advantage if you want to end up, scooping up Senate at a different time.
I think if people are valuing Sinnott at consensus in your leagues, I think I'd rather have Sinnott at his price than Theo Johnson or JT Sanders at their price. But that's kind of parsing through a little bit there, because in this range, I think you're going to find a range of outcomes as far as how people view these players.
Any preference on the old guys, on the veteran guys like Ertz, Gesicki?
For this year, Ertz.
Like Ertz this season,
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say for this.
Yeah, if this was redraft rankings, he'd be a lot higher.
Yeah. I mean, I got offered a third and a fourth for Ertz today and declined it because it's just.
I wouldn't take that either. If I'm competing, I would definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, he's the production that he's going to provide this year is not, you're not able to replace it for
especially
what
early
his
on.
value is.
I mean, you have to expect TMC to start off slow after missing all of training camp. And like I said earlier, they didn't really add weapons, so they're going to lean on Ertz early. I really think that he's a good play in lineups early on.
I agree. Chad, what's your statement with Senate? I was curious where Keep Trade Cut had him in value just to get an idea because I had no idea where to price him either. He's dead even with Goddard. He's above Freiermuth, above Sanders. So that if that's the price, then I would actually rather have all those guys over him. But I wouldn't feel like in a league that would be the cost because feels really high.
That does feel high. Yeah, I was anticipating it being.
Yeah, me too. Like a mid-third, late third.
Yeah.
We could get him every time.
Yep.
So that is interesting. Might be a sell. I mean, I'd rather sell him for any of those tight ends I mentioned.
All right, any other tight ends?
Please tell me why.
Why do you hate
rookies,
Dallas Goedert? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Why these rookies are at borderline tight end one for you?
Well, because upside. Because of everything that you said before. Because of how gross everyone else is, and these guys are boats. They're shiny new toys. They're upside.
They're dinghies.
I still don't know what anybody means when they say a player is a boat. I still have no. I feel like it's just like something we're saying now.
Isn't it from the saying
like
what tides lift all boats or whatever? Is that
sure? It could mean that. It could also mean that they're tugboats and they just pull everybody along with them.
So for the listener, like when we say a player is a boat, it's just whatever it means to you.
Whatever you think it means.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's conceptual.
It is. It could mean that they're like what's behind door number one. It could be a boat.
Yeah.
So it could be Daniel Bellinger is what you're saying.
Talking about.
They could be Daniel Bellinger, or they could be Trey McBride.
Or didn't do anything his rookie year.
Exactly.
So it just feels extreme. Like you're saying you would take any of those three over David Njoku. That's what your rankings say, and that's crazy to me.
I would, and I think I drafted all of those guys like that in rookie leagues. Like I don't think Njoku's worth any more than a mid-third. I mean mid-second. Sorry, mid-second.
If you have any shares, please send me that offer. I will pay you my second in that league for Njoku every time. And it just seems crazy. I mean, you have been really high on these guys, so I understand your statements on
especially, that. All three of them have just such intriguing upside to me. Like if you want me to go through all of it, Mason Taylor is the Jets' number 2 receiver right now, right? Arroyo is the most athletic and showed the most in college in limited spurts because of injury, but he's healthy now and he's playing great and he got Fant cut in front of him. really like his prospects. And then Ferguson tested better than any of these guys and was chosen by McVay. All of that is really exciting to me. All of that has
McVay's choices at tight end have not been the best.
Yeah, I was about to say they've been terrible.
historically.
okay, but I'm just saying if you're a weapon that's chosen by McVay, I'm placing a second round bet on you. You know, all of these guys to me, I would rather have than Njoku, who is always hurt and they want to trade, is on one of the worst teams in the NFL.
And
He's been
Goddard, who's just
extremely
trash, too.
good every time.
He is a really good player, but I'm ready to re-roll.
He is a really good player, but I think these other guys could be good players.
Exactly. They're all boats.
There you go.
No, I mean I understand it. With the tight end position, it's the guys in this range are so meh that if your strategy is hunting for the premier of the position, you're probably going to be hunting a long time. But if you do hit, you hit big, right? So I understand it. Gamblers mentality, right? It's just what kind of player you are. If you just want the points, want safety, who knows how much it's going to do for you? Swing big, some people say.
Yeah, and I'm not advocating if Njoku is your number one tight end, trading him for one of these guys.
No,
That's
you
gonna
already said
hurt.
it. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like real advice. No, that's going to hurt your chances of competing. But if Njoku's on your bench, why not take the chance to re-roll on a younger guy with upside?
I don't agree with that at all, but that's okay. Just being honest, that's
Okay,
okay.
that's fine.
It's totally okay to
We're
do
allowed
that.
to disagree.
Yeah, of course.
You're supposed to be the guy that likes boats.
Yeah, I love rookie tight ends, but you're telling me the guy that's been a tight end one, I don't even know how many years in a row, and in points per game is like top 5 almost every year. Like that's a big leap
But
of
you don't
faith
go-
for me.
Don't go by points per game. We've talked about this.
I don't.
movie.
You're correct, but it's an added measure of why I think that's a bad decision.
It's a tool. It's not like you treat it with Goddard, where it's everything. It's the only argument that you have.
Saquon actually destroyed that argument. That's why I've got it. I think I have lower than any of you guys. I'm very
No, I
low.
promise you don't. You have him at 16.
Oh no, you're really.
He's in
low.
the 20 somethings for
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
else.
You hate him.
He's just like, you guys have Goddard. All of you guys have Goddard in your top 3. So that's consensus, right? And I have him at 16. So
I will say Mike loves Dallas Goddard, if we're being honest. He has him at 15.
I know.
So
That's why
he does love him.
That's why I was asking Jesse why he hates Dallas Goddard so much. I didn't expect that.
It's because
have-
his role in the offense is extremely diminished.
I got it.
Can we mercy kill this episode and get to overtime? All right. Love it. I'm so close to opening Pokemon packs. All right. What do you guys got? I've been watching King of the Hill revival, and I got to tell you, it has not disappointed. Bobby Hill has grown up and is now a chef. Someone walked into his restaurant. It's his best customer. Sits there every day at the same spot, has lunch. The one day he's sitting there, he goes, Bobby, you burning toast? Bobby's like, no, I'm a good chef. I'm not burning anything. I'm not even cooking toast. He goes, I've been smelling burnt toast all week. What's going on around here? Why is everybody burning toast? And then they just cut to a scene with them in the hospital and he's dead.
and
Bobby's dead?
No, the customer that was having a stroke.
So I saw a YouTube clip of that because I've been watching like YouTube clips of call me millennial or what. I don't even know.
Yeah, you are a millennial.
I am a millennial. So yeah, definitely call me that because it's true.
Millennials might as well be boomers at this point, but go on.
Yeah. So I instead of watching the show, I've just been watching YouTube clips of it essentially,
Okay.
and I did see that and it was funny, but it was killed because in that show with what's his name? It's escaping me now. The one we talked about last week where he's in the old folks home.
Oh, with Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, yeah. So Ted Danson, they had a similar joke where one of the old people, they were having like a retirement home meeting or whatever, where they were all like voicing their complaints. And one of the guys is like, raises his hand. He's like, everything tastes like pennies.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Vicky's having a stroke.
That's really there's a that's an old Simpsons joke too. Guys, he's yelling. He's like, and everything sucks around here, and everything has cilantro in it, and I taste copper. And then he's just dead.
Y'all are gonna hate me, but I don't
My
think
left
I've
arm's
ever
going
watched an episode of that ever.
What, King of the Hill?
Yeah, ever.
That's okay. I understand. It's
I
not really
feel like
for
I
your
watched it back
generation.
in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that like a where's that show based?
Texas, Arlen, Texas, West
Is it
Texas,
Texas?
I believe. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Arlen, Texas. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
That's why I figured you guys would love it.
I mean, I didn't grow up here.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Well, I've been here longer than Mike. But
Yes, he's
Mike's
definitely
been
been
here
here
for
longer
5
than me.
minutes.
I've been here for 4 years.
I've never been there.
It's hot.
What have you guys been watching?
And this has been the how long have you been in Texas or not been in Texas segment.
The finale for Twisted Metal came out last 3 episodes. It got really weird towards the end. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure how much. Well, I won't spoil anything, but yeah. I mean, some of it was still really good. Stays true to some of the games and stuff. But it's funny. Peacock classifies it as a comedy, which I wouldn't have expected for like a mature-rated, bloody, gory kind of show. But whatever.
Was
Is
it
it funny?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is, I guess, but I wouldn't think that would be like the main attraction. Is like, hey, I think
Yeah.
I think it's really funny, so I really want to crack up, so I'm gonna watch this. Like, I wouldn't have said that.
Austin?
To be honest, I haven't watched much. NBA 2K comes out this weekend, and all I've been
Just
doing is
obsessed with that.
watching videos on my future
Okay.
my player build. So
What's
it's been like I don't even want to admit how many hours of that I've watched.
Watching videos on the game I'm gonna play in the future.
Yeah, well, I can't play it yet, so I gotta watch.
I want to know.
Live
I just really want to
vicariously through
know.
other people.
Yeah.
I just want to know McCain and Maxie's ratings. Like McCain should be a 99 shooting.
He's not that. I can promise you
No,
that.
I know he's not.
Jesse's never gonna play it, so we should just lie to him with an
You should.
absurdly low rating so he can rant about it every day for the next year. We're like, yeah, Maxie's a 68. I don't know what they were thinking.
He might actually be.
Fastest player in the NBA.
Not right now. Because he's hurt.
Maxie?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking McCain. Sorry.
McCain's not hurt either.
Chad, what have you watched?
So,
Sure. It's on YouTube.
I know we're laughing and stuff. I watched the documentary on Katrina, which is not funny. Actually,
I
I
was about to
felt
say, do
kinda
you want us
bad
to
'cause
laugh more?
Yeah, I was watching. Yeah, I was watching it. It's actually pretty good, but I was watching it and I was my wife's like, I wish we had another show to watch. And I was like, we've been watching that Katrina show. She's like, oh yeah, let's finish that. And I was like, yeah, it's been really entertaining. That's probably not the right word to use because it's really depressing. But no, it's good. It's worth a watch. It definitely eye opening for sure.
Yeah, I might give that a shot.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that.
All right.
Way to go, Chad. Sorry, guys.
Anything else?
Lighten the mood up
We're
there,
gonna
buddy.
have to edit so much.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, this might not get out till next week, but we're here.
Oh, my Labor Day weekend is ruined.
Football.
I think we should just leave it as is, to be honest with you. Just throw it
I
out
enjoyed
there.
it.
Yeah, it was fun. I think people are gonna.
In the front office.
What is this?
It's the Dynasty front office. And
We
we have
go.
won championships
There
one trade
we
at a time.
go.
Jesse, end the podcast, please.